Hey family, welcome back to Big Family Matters. I'm out here sitting in what will be my protege. Well, it is my protege. It's just it's in process. It's in flux right now. I'm enjoying some Creo brew, some hot. It's a cocoa bean mixture. It's a cacao bean. It's really good. It's fabulous. But if you look up Creo brew on the internet or on Amazon, it'll show you what it is, and it's wonderful, and it's healthy for you, much healthier than like coffee. It's like a natural release caffeine. It's wonderful. And it keeps me warm because this morning is a little chilly. I had to put on my shawl and an extra layer because I just wasn't warm enough. Thank goodness the sun's coming out and it is warming us up a little bit. And it's warm in that greenhouse, which we have all of our seedlings and our tomato sprouts in. So that's essential. That has to stay warm. So they have a heater running in there as well. So everything's nice and toasty. But outside, it's ugh. And it's not that nasty wet cold, thank goodness. But it is windy, and that icy wind, for some reason, like that icy northern wind just got us. And so I wanted to talk to you today about the matter that I've been dealing with lately, which, as you know, is baby goat birth. So the baby is still doing well. That experience, I wanted to talk about that experience that I had.
Push. Come on, push. Oh, God. Oh. Is it alive or no?
It's alive.
It's alive? It's alive?
It came out backwards. It was incredible, but it was scary, but it was like something that I knew that I would run into one day, because you get into this life, you get into farming, or you get into animal husbandry, and you have to know that one day that's going to happen, because not every birth goes perfectly. It's not magic, and it's not a fairy tale. It just doesn't always go perfectly. And something's going to go wrong one day, or you're going to have to help one day, or, you're going to lose a baby one day, which is always awful. So I thought that's what was going to happen to us, which we have lost goat kids before, but that was after they were born and other circumstances. But I thought this was going to be like a stillborn baby or something, but thank goodness it wasn't that. But you have to get into it knowing that eventually you're going to have to be prepared to do what you need to do to help that animal. And I've always told people that when you think about wanting goats or chickens, or if you think about wanting any living creature, dog, cat, whatever, you have to consider all of the possibilities, all of the things that will happen, because you can't say, well, that will never happen, because you don't know. And so just like in life, just like if you take on having your own child or something, you have to accept anything that will come. So you have to think about the good and the bad possibilities. And if you can accept both, then you should do it. But in animal husbandry, I always tell people, if you are not willing to do the things that you may be called upon to do, if you're not ready or willing to step up and help that animal in the way that it needs to be helped, or even possibly if it comes down to it, if you're not willing to put that animal down if it needs it, if it's just suffering. If you're not willing to do what needs to be done, then step away. If you're just not ready for this, if you can't accept the good, the bad, and the ugly, and everything in between, then walk away now. Because the best thing for that animal is to have someone caring for it the way that it needs to be cared for. So it needs to have someone that's going to help it through the good times and the bad. So that's what I believe. That's what a lot of animal husbandry people believe, and that's what I feel like that's what we are meant for. That's what human what's the right word? Human stewardship is for. We were called upon to be stewards of the land and of the animals. Like, I truly believe that as a core principle of my being, that humans were here to care for this world and for this earth. That means every living creature, and that means care for them in the way that they need it. And it may hurt, and it may be hard, or it may be exhausting and fun, but you're tired of it. And you may be over this animal. The cleanup may be a lot, the work may be a lot, but I believe that that's a higher calling that we have as the humans of this world, and as the keepers and the protectors and the stewards of this world, to take care of the living things around us and give them what they need. So that's something I believe, and I hope that's something that you guys share in that belief or can relate to someone in that belief. I believe that anybody that's trying to raise their own food, I hope you have somewhat of those core principle values, that you care about the things that you're growing, and that you care about the things that you're taking care of, and that you're trying to get them to live their best life, plant or animal. I hope that's true of you. Oh, that is so good. Because we all want to live our best life, right? People want to live their best lives. You want your family to live their best lives. You know, everybody is interested in happiness and having their best life. Well, that animal and those plants are interested in the same thing. And they need your help to accomplish that sometimes. So that experience was, it was game changing. It was incredible. Because I was kind of ready for it, but when Wes asked me in the moment what was going through my head when he looked at me, you know, we were about to do it, we were about to glow up, he goes, "Okay, so you're sure that you know what you're feeling for?" He's like, you're sure you feel confident that you know what you're doing? And my immediate response was, "Yeah, I got this. Oh yeah." And I gloved up. In my head, what I was thinking was, ish. I was thinking, I'm going to do my best. I was like, I've never done this. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I'm not an expert, but I'm going to try. The willingness was there, but, you know, maybe not the expertise, but the willingness. I was like, you know, there's no one else here, and there's no one else to help her. And we're a long way from a vet. So she's only got us. So this is it. You know, I got to woman up and do this. So I was ready. I was willing to accept the challenge. I was a little bit scared. The fear was there. I'm telling you, the fear was real. And I was a little doubtful in my abilities, but it was all just theory up to that point. It was all just theory. And it was something that I had researched the heck out of. I had prepared myself for. I had gone through drills in my head, but it was all theory up to that point. And now it's when the boots hit the ground, it's game time, you know, and you got to do it. So, and you just kind of get into a mindset of, you can do this. Just go for it. You've learned what you need to learn. You know what you're feeling for. You know the signs. You know what to do and how to progress and how to pull. You got to do it now. So, you know, it's scary. Yeah, just like learning anything new. Just like how any kid learns anything new. Just like riding a bike, it's terrifying. You're probably going to crash. You're going to fall. But at some point, you have to try to do it. At some point, you have to actively get on the bike and give it a try. So I was happy and thrilled to have that first experience go well. I was so happy that the baby came out alive and healthy. I was happy that was a good ending story there. But I was also grateful for the whole experience. I was willing to wait her out. I was willing to wait that goat out and wait till she had that kid. And I was literally sitting there for hours. Sometimes I was in the same position. I didn't move for like a solid hour, just watching and waiting and filming. And I was willing to wait her out. I was willing to be patient. I'm willing to just let nature progress and let the mama do what she knows to do, because I do believe in letting the mother do what her instincts tell her to do, instead of always just like jumping in. I'm not the human that wants to immediately intervene and interfere. But at the same time, you know, there comes a point when maternal instincts will tell you that something is wrong. And that's kind of what I was getting. I was getting a little bit of those warning bells in my head after a while. I was just watching her, and I was like, okay, because after sitting there for a while, it wasn't just that I was tired of waiting or tired of sitting there. It was like, okay, we've been here for 3 hours, and we're going on 3.5, and I'm not seeing the kind of progress that I read about or that I've seen about on other videos. I've watched goat birth videos, and that progress just happened really quickly. And I was like, and I know from having my babies, from having my experience, I was like, there's supposed to be a little more progress at that point. You know, we're hours in, and there was just not the kind of progress that I was supposed to see there. And even though, like I said, I've never actually witnessed a live goat birth, if you listen to your inner voice, if you listen to your instincts, if you let that guide you a little bit, it's going to tell you when something's wrong, when something's not right. So I was getting those warning bells, and it was going off in my head thinking, this is not right. I need to do something. So that's when I told Wes, you know, I don't feel good about this. We need to go in. We need to check, you know. So yeah, it's just, I'm grateful that I listened to myself. I'm grateful that I had that sort of mindset of, calm patience, but then wisdom, calm patience and assessment, but then assess wisely and act when I need to. I was grateful that I was able to do that. And I'm so grateful for Wes helping me. Oh my goodness, y'all. It can't be done without help. I'm so serious. It can't be done without your partner in life. Let me give y'all a little better view there. Sorry. And I wish y'all could see the raised bed behind me, the little blue raised bed. I tried to position my beautiful new table that I got, this little potager table, and my chairs. I tried to position it well. But y'all can see the house and me, but can't really see much else. Sorry. I hope this is a good enough view. But you can't do it without help. And I would not, that baby probably would have died. It would probably not have been successful without him, because I had no way to hold the mama and comfort the mama and get on the other end and do what I need to do. So they say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to do farming, y'all. It takes all of us to do farming. I would not be able to do all the things I do without my kids helping me, without definitely my strong husband to do the work that I can't do, the heavy lifting. And he has a tactical mind. He has a very reasonable, logical mind, and he can figure things out that I can't. I'm just sitting there going, what do? We need to do something. And he's planning, he's thinking, he's strategizing. I love that tactical aspect of him. I love when he says, I have an idea, because his ideas are always brilliant. And I should go with his ideas usually. He has amazing ideas. But the goat birth wouldn't happen without more than one person. This whole farm wouldn't happen without more than one person. This whole family doesn't happen without more than one person. You need that companionship. You need to be on the same page. You need to have the helper. Right now we're bottle feeding the baby because she seems to have, I don't know if it's because she was born breech or because she had such a difficult birth, but she is healthy. It's just that she's not, she wasn't able to nurse off the mama. The teats were just too swollen and too big, and her suckle was so weak, and she was like trying, but she couldn't get latched on, and she couldn't nurse. We tried several times. Sorry, my allergies are acting up. Tried many different times to get her back on the mom. She just couldn't do it. And when she would nurse, it was so pitiful and so weak. So had to get her fed, had to get her warmed up. And of course, this cold wind, this Arctic north wind would come right when we have a newborn baby that needs to stay warm and dry and fed. So right now we're warming her up and bottle feeding her, and then we put her back out with the mom when the sun comes out in the middle of the day and it's like the warmest part of the day. We give her back to mom. We let mom babysit her for a while. She's a very loving mother. Missy is so sweet and maternal, loves this baby, tries to get her to nurse on her. The baby tries, but like I said, she can't. But she just loves being with the baby. So I give her baby, and then, I'll feed her and give her back, or I'll let her nap in the cage. We have a cage full of hay, this huge dog crate full of hay, and a warmer. We have a warming plate and blankets and everything, and we snuggle her up in the crate. So she's getting lots of attention, and she's getting all the care that she needs, and she's getting nutrition, and she's getting stronger, and she's walking around really well. So, she's going to be a good goat, and she's going to pull through. It's just that right now she's struggling a little bit and she's having trouble, and I attribute that to her rough start in life. But doing all that work with the baby, that does not happen with one person. Wes, bless his heart, he's prepping the cage for me, or he's getting the bottle ready for me while I'm snuggling up the baby and warming the baby, or cleaning up the baby, or doing whatever. So it's a tag team thing we do. And usually Sarah the goat whisperer, my oldest daughter, usually Sarah is the one that's out here caring for all of the goats, babies included, and she's the milker, and she's monitoring them, and she's feeding them, and she does all the effort with the goats, and she tells us what's going on with the goats. So if there's bottle babies to be had, multiple bottle babies, which we have had before, but if there's a lot going on with baby season, it's usually Sarah and I that are doing that. We're tag teaming that together. But now that Sarah, Lily, and Avery are currently at a friend's house in Louisiana, they're spending like 3 days at a friend's house. They had a long vacation from the farm, and they're having fun. So this happened right when my best little helper was gone. And they were so sad that they missed Missy's exciting birth. But it's okay. They'll get to see the baby when they come back. They come back today. And so since they were gone and all this happened, it was just me and Wes. So Wes was a super help to me, and even Miles pitched in. Even Miles was like, I know how to fix the baby bottle, and he does. He goes and gets the jar of goat milk that we milked the day before. He pours it in the bottle up to the right level, and he warms it up for the baby, and he brings it to me, and he goes, here, Mommy, here's your bottle. And little Miles will even pitch in and help, but I couldn't do this alone, you know, and my heart goes out to anyone who is struggling trying to raise animals alone, especially babies. If you're trying to like bottle feed and nobody else is in this with you and nobody else is willing to contribute or help, oh honey, my heart goes out to you. Like how do you do that? Like how do you do farming or how do you do animal husbandry alone? I couldn't do this alone. Like I wouldn't have the heart to do it alone. I would have like a dog and a cat and that would be it. Like it's almost like there's not enough joy in it without the aspect of people doing it with you. I want my family to do this with me. I want my husband beside me when I'm gardening. You know, I want that companionship. And besides that, it's just physically hard alone. Like how would you juggle like 5 or 6 bottle babies and all the care that they need, and then, you know, hatching out chicks or milking a cow, or, you know, you got to go work the garden. How would you do all that alone, you know? And I just, in my romantic, fantastical imagination, I go back to, like, I imagine the hard times of our human race, like the Civil War or you know, the old time days or the Great Depression. I imagine people that probably had to carry on alone, and without all the modern technology and conveniences, they had to push through alone. And I'm trying to imagine how someone would do that. Like physically, I would have reached the end of my ability to go on. The exhaustion would just take over, and I would just feel overwhelmed and just give up. Like, I just don't think I could do that. They're made of something I'm not, I guess, because, like, you would have to have a steel resolve. You would have to have a will of iron to be able to do this alone. You would have to really have a passion for it, and you would have to know that the work is going to be hard and long, and it's never going to end. And what about your emotional support system? Like when I'm upset and crying because I lost an animal, or if I'm mad because, you know, my whole experimental crop of a certain plant just died on me, or, you know, when I lose things, or when stuff doesn't go right, or if I get hurt on the farm or something, Wes is there for me. Like he's the emotional support. My children are emotional support for me. My church family is emotional support for me. They build me up. They uplift me. They encourage me. They're like, oh, what do you need? What can we help with? You know, or they talk to me about it, or, you know, how would you go through those experiences alone with no emotional support? I just see that as not only horrible, but just unhealthy. Like that's not how we were meant to be. I'm telling you, as a human race, trying to do animal husbandry and trying to be good stewards of this earth, as the stewards and the guardians and the caretakers of this world, we were not meant to do it on our own. We were meant to have help. We were meant to do it as a community. So I don't know how they did it. To me, that would be a miserable existence. It really would. But I just wanted to share my thoughts and my opinions and my experiences with y'all as the woman of the homestead, as the woman of the farm, and as the one who's like kind of on the inside. You know, this is my role that I play, and this is my job and my duties that I have, and this is how I see things. Other people may see the farm differently, and they may see us differently, but this is my experience. I'm living in these boots, and I'm living this life, and I'm loving it, and I'm enjoying it because I have everything that I need. And I'm grateful for the blessings. I'm grateful for the sorrows. I'm grateful for the losses, and I'm grateful for the wins. And I'm grateful for all these learning moments and these wonderful experiences that are only going to help me become a better farmer and going to help me become a better steward of the earth I was given. So I'm grateful for it. All right, guys, I love you. I hope you enjoyed our little Creole Brew talk today out by the table. And I will see you the next time when I have another family matter to discuss. Y'all be good. I love you. Bye.